This is the last video for the tutorial for Module 2. This is Module 2.3, which is going to focus on intercepts, X and Y intercepts. I covered this in Lesson 2.4. I think some teachers covered this in Lesson 2.5. I think some people did transformations and intercepts the other way around. Reminder that my YouTube channel, if you want to find the videos for any particular lesson, if you search Graham Bagshaw, you should be able to find Module 2 pretty easily for this. And you might need a Desmos calculator for this unit as well. In fact, I would strongly recommend it for this section. So I put a few notes on here. Use Desmos if you only have an equation, not a graph. Sometimes they'll draw the graph for you and you can just figure it out from the picture. If they give you an equation, type it into Desmos so you can see the picture. So the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. So you look at the line, look at this line, and then where the two cross, that would be your intercept. And same thing for a y-intercept. Look for the y-axis, find where the line crosses the y-axis, and then that would be your y-intercept. Now, as we're doing this, there's a couple of ways we can answer this. So you can just write out the number, -5, or sometimes it'll ask you for the coordinate or the ordered pair. So for this one, the x number, you can see this is on the x-axis. X is -5, and then the other number is 0. You go across 5, and you don't go up any at all. And for the x-intercept over here, same sort of thing. You can see it goes through -1, so you could put -1, or you might just want to put -1, 0. Now, it can be more complicated for y-intercepts, so he goes through 2, and it's kind of tempting to want to write 2 straight away. But remember, this coordinate here is actually 0, 2, so it's the y value that's 2, that's why the second coordinate is 2. And this line here actually never crosses through the y-axis at all, so it's also possible not to have an intercept at all, not just for y's, but also for x's as well, and you'll have to look at the picture to see. Let's get into some questions then. So they've drawn the graph for us. They didn't put the dots on here. I put these on to make these a little easier to see. So starting from the origin, I can see that it's one space to the right, so I know my x-intercept would be 1. I think we're asked to do the x-intercept as well. Yep. So the y-intercept here would be starting from here. I go up 1, 2. So it would be +2. And normally you'd have numbers on the graphs as well to make this easier to check, so you can see exactly where they are. Identify the x and y intercepts, write your answers as orders pairs. So this time we want them as coordinates. So I can see the x-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put 4, 0. I'm going to make sure that x value is the 4, and then the other one is 0. For the y-intercept, I can see it's at -2. So I've got to make sure the y coordinate is -2. So in other words, 0, -2. This is x, and this is y. If you're unsure as well, you can always type these into Desmos and you can actually have a look just to see. So if you're not sure if that point here is 4, 0 or 0, 4, type them into Desmos, label them, and it will actually draw them for you, and then you can actually check just to make sure that you do pick the correct answer for that. And this one, we have 2 questions to answer this time. So they're written as ordered pairs. I'm going to find the x-intercept first, so it goes 1, 2, 3 across. So I've got to be careful, is it 0, 3 or 3, 0? And if I'm not sure, I could type them in again just to make sure. I know it's the x value that wants to be 3, so that's the first number. So in other words, it's the answer choice D. And for the y-intercept, well, here's the y-axis. Here's that line. You can see that there is none at all. It does not intersect, so none would be the answer for that question. And this is one of the shorter units, actually. Not much to do with finding x and y intercepts. Just make sure you don't mix them up, or else potentially you can get every question wrong. And that's it. If there is any problems, remember, go back and look at the videos from earlier in the unit, and that should help you to work on that section.